Last year I put up a video going over my approach in regards to working towards FIRE. Then about a month after I put the video out, the right house came up at the right time for the right price and I had to put things on hold. So now I'm in the position to start this rolling again, and the plan is to make these videos a monthly series. FIRE stands for Financial Independence and Retire Early. The idea behind FIRE is that you invest as early as you possibly can in your life and as often as you possibly can, and over time these investments will compound and they will allow you to become financially independent and retire early, as the name implies. There are different goals when it comes to FIRE. Some people are looking to completely retire very early in life. There's people that have retired in their 20s, 30s, or they hit 40, and they want to have a big lump sum of money which basically covers their cost of living through the interest that they accrue on that or the dividends that they make from this lump sum of investments. Other people are just looking to scale down the amount of work that they have to do as they get older, so they might want to reduce their hours from 40 to 20, for example, when they hit the age of 50 years old. And for people that are in kind of high stress jobs, they might want to continue working, but they might just want to go into something that they enjoy more, but it's lower paid. So for example, you might want to become a teaching assistant where you have quite good hours, a lot of holidays, but it's not massively paid, and perhaps that's something that you want to do later on in life. Whatever your goals are, I think it's always a good idea to try and build some additional financial security for yourself in the future. And that is what today's video is about, and that is what future videos will be about. It will be my approach towards trying to gain some additional financial security for myself and my family. So currently I do work full time. I work 48 hours a week as a carer, and I make about the average annual salary. And with the cost of living as high as it is at the moment, and obviously inflation being quite high, that just about covers everything. I have 2 children and a wife to look after as well. So in order to try and achieve some kind of financial independence and the ability to retire early, I have to make money outside of my full-time job through side incomes, or side hustles as people call them now. There are 4 side hustles that I use to make an additional income alongside my full-time job. Now the first one is sports betting, which is probably what you're aware of, as that is what this channel is mostly about. The second one is the website that I run, SmartSpotTrader.com. Again, this is based around sports betting, and I make money through affiliate revenue and also through membership fees. The third one is YouTube, so I have started to make a small amount from YouTube. And the fourth one is I do some freelance work. I do some freelance writing for other websites, and I've also done some work on YouTube for other people as well. Alright, so my plan for working towards FIRE is to invest 50% of the money that I make from my side hustles. So I chose 50% as obviously I have to keep some money back for tax, which I'll have to pay at the end of the year on some of my other side hustles. So for freelancing, for YouTube, and for anything that I make through the website. Obviously the advantage of sports betting is that it's tax free, so I don't have to keep money back for tax in that regard. 50% is just a figure that I think I can comfortably invest month after month, and it gives me a nice buffer in case something happens with the car, something happens to the boiler, the roof, these things crop up in life and you have additional expenses. What then is the value of this video for you, the viewer? Well, for a start off, I'll go through my side hustles. I'll tell you exactly the amount of money that I've made from my side hustles, the amount of time that I spend on them, and what I think is worth doing in the future. So we've got a few different side hustles which I've talked about. We've got sports betting, we've got YouTube, we've got running a website, and we've got freelancing. So there's a broad range of side hustles there that might interest you. Secondly, I will tell you where I'm investing my money month after month. Now, I'm not saying this is the best advice. It's obviously not financial advice. I'm not in that position to give you it, but I'm looking to do what's best for myself. So this could give you some ideas and motivation for what you might want to do as well. And the third benefit that you might get from these types of videos is that it can help to reaffirm your own goals and keep you accountable for your own goals. So if you're working towards FIRE yourself, seeing somebody else put out monthly content can be a big motivation. I know this from my sports betting blog, where I've been putting my profit and loss continually every month for 84 months. That's the feedback that I get on that, is that, yeah, to see somebody else doing what you're trying to do, it's a big motivation, and it can keep yourself accountable, and it also keeps me accountable for my own goals as well. Alright, so it's time to dig into the figures for March and look at how much I've been able to invest from the side hustles that I have. So I'm going to start with sports betting, and with sports betting I made a profit of £3,620, which gives me a figure of £1,810 to invest. When it comes to sports betting, I've had a few different ideas in regards to investing towards FIRE. Now, the problem with sports betting is that it is a volatile investment. It is going to change on a monthly basis. It will go up and down. Now, just to be clear, over a period of about 8 years, I have consistently made a profit every single year from sports betting. However, it does differ month to month. So, for example, Last year in total, I made a profit of about £15,500 from sports betting. However, in the last 6 months of that year, I was break even. It was up and down. I didn't make any money. However, the previous year was a really good year and I managed to make just under £40,000. So the tricky thing is when you want to invest this money towards FIRE is you don't really want to just be chucking big chunks of that into an index fund every single month. It is my understanding that the best way to invest in index fund is through a strategy called dollar cost averaging, where you're looking to put a similar amount of money in on a regular basis. So this can be weekly or monthly. So when it comes to sports betting and the profits from sports betting, with them being volatile, I don't want to put a big chunk into an index fund and then see that index fund go down and then have a bad month the next month in my sports betting. And need to bring that money back into my bankroll. So what I have been doing is investing that money that I make from sports betting just into Trading 212's 5.2% savings account, and that way I can obviously stick the money in. I can combat inflation somewhat with that 5.2%, and then if I need to bring any money back into my sports betting bankroll, then it's there and I can use it. Next up on the list of side hustles is my website, SmartSpotTrader.com. So that made a profit of £791 in March, which gives me £395 to invest. So SmartSpotTrader.com makes money a few different ways. It makes money from affiliate revenue. So for example, I'm an affiliate for OddsMonkey, which is a piece of match betting software, which I've used for many, many years, and it's really good. And I get a recurring monthly revenue from them. It makes money from sponsorship occasionally, and I also have a membership site on there, which again is a recurring monthly subscription. I chose to invest the £395 from the website into a global ETF fund with Vanguard. So I did this after watching a few videos on YouTube from a few different people that I respect and I think are very knowledgeable. So one of them is Damien Talks Money. I think he's someone that's very good to listen to. And the other one was, I don't know his name, but the channel is Pensioncraft. So I'm not going to claim to be an expert on investing. I'm clearly not. However, I know that just getting started is a good idea. So if I'm listening to those two guys who both seem very knowledgeable and they don't seem like they're trying to shill anything, I've decided to put my money in there. And yeah, if you have any other ideas of what might be better investments for, even from a sports betting as well, feel free to comment. Moving on to YouTube, and YouTube made a profit of £78, giving me £39 to invest. So I'm not very active on YouTube. I tend to dip in and out, and overall I've just used YouTube as it's good for building a brand. It's good for sending visitors towards my website. So any additional money that I make from YouTube is a benefit, but it is something that I'd like to do more of, and it is something that I'd like to build up in the future and hopefully see that revenue increase. The £39 profit that I could use to invest from revenue made from YouTube, I just also stuck into the Vanguard Global ETF Fund. And then lastly, we've got freelancing, and I made no money at all from freelancing in March. However, I know in April I do have freelancing work this month, so that figure will obviously increase and that will be added to my investments next month. After the first month, the working towards FIRE fund stands at £2,244. So yeah, it feels very good to get this started, especially after making a video last year and then buying a house and having to hold off things for a while. Yeah, it feels really good to get the ball rolling, and hopefully you enjoyed this video and you get some value out of it. If you want to comment, if you've got any advice for me, or you want to ask any questions about any of the side hustles that I do, yeah, feel free to add them in the comments, and I'll be back next month with an update.